Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to betting the 4-game NBA Summer League DFS slate. We're on to day 6 now. This is your first time watching. I cover content for daily fantasy sports as well as for player props. Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay, Play. Underdog, they are the sponsor of today's video. You can use the link down below or the code DKDFS for a $250 deposit match bonus. Highly recommend it. I've been hawking the Underdog board. Sometimes it gets posted like 2 a.m. the night before. Sometimes it's at like 9 a.m. the next morning. I had my alarm set, and there were a ton of error lines that we were able to capitalize on. Like Jordan Walsh at 7.5 points was just a complete error. That's already up to like 12 now. But there's a lot more too. So got amazing value. If you guys are looking for more content, you can check my Patreon link down below. Had a very good summer league. So did very well in the early and afternoon slates. On the showdown slate, I easily cashed with Nathan Mensah, who got injured after 4 minutes. The main slate was the one that I did not cash. That would be due to Jordan Hawkins. Gonna need someone to do a case study on that performance last night. I literally have no words for what I saw. There's a lot, like some teams running like 11, 12 man rotations, just disgusting stuff. But had a very good day props wise. We had 3 over 4 slips posted yesterday. So love to see that. And we had some takedowns as well. Patreon members, like here, let's say I retweeted it. We got first, second, and third in the late slate. Patreon members. So you'd love to see that. And like I said, let's see if we can keep it going. So let's start off with Memphis and Orlando. Okay, so for Memphis, I think they're the best team in the Summer League, in my personal opinion. Now, I will say, again, we're at the point in the Summer League where guys are going to start getting shut down. However, there is still something to play for some of these teams. Like, for example, right, Memphis, they're 2-0. So I'm pretty sure the main guys will play here because they have a chance to make the Summer League championship. We'll see. The one big piece of news that we need, obviously, is Zach Edey, right? He's missed the last 3 games with that ankle injury. We'll see. I mean, they said he's going to play in the Summer League, so gotta assume it's going to be either this game or the next game that he plays, right? Now, if Zach Edey misses, what that is going to do is you're going to get a usage bump for those other starters. Laravia, Gigi Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Spencer. I know Spencer got banged up too. We'll keep an eye on that news. And then you would get Trey Jemison moving in the starting line. Jemison started to play 24 minutes. But yeah, Memphis has been running a very, very favorable rotation. So top end guys, assuming Edey plays, I mean, I have interest in all of them. Laravia, Gigi, Edey, Pippen. Spencer, if he plays, all look good. The issue is just a lot of those guys are priced up, but if you can afford one of those Grizzlies, they all look pretty good. Pippen has been playing extremely well. He's averaging like 5 steals a game. Laravia and Gigi are chucking when they're out there. Obviously, Edey, if he plays, great rebounder, great shot blocker. Spencer's been very solid. Again, keep an eye on the news there to see if he plays. If they do end up sitting like a few guys, I mean, we could look to possibly some value here, maybe like Wells or Giroux, guys like that. Again, Jemison would start if Edey doesn't play. So we'll keep an eye on that. Moving on to Orlando. Orlando also 2-0, so expecting their main guys to play. Let me bring up the Magic rotation last game. When was their most recent? Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. I remember this because Anthony Black tilted me with his shooting performance. But same starters through 2 games. It's been Huff, De Silva, Howard, Black, and Culver. So look at the price points here for the Magic. You got Anthony Black at the top at 8K, Jet Howard at 7.5. I think of the two, again, I think Anthony Black is a bit of a higher floor. He'll have the ball's hands more than Jet Howard. Both have a similar ceiling. Jet Howard's going to chuck when he's out there 15 and 11 shots. Both solid plays. I think I slightly prefer Black to Howard, but Howard's still in play. De Silva at 7-1, got 13 shots up, had a good shooting game. I think he's reasonable. I don't think we had a ton of ownership. Jarrett Culver's been starting 19 and 27 minutes in the most recent game. Fair price point for him. Again, he had some good numbers in the G League. And finally, Jay Huff has been starting at the 5, 23 and 25 minutes. Solid option mid-range, not a must, but decent point per dollar play. Now off the bench for the Magic, no one really played big minutes. I put 11 guys. Xavier Moon was the guy that played the most. He played 16 minutes, 5.3K, kind of just a contrarian dart throw. All right, Phoenix and Oklahoma City. So we saw Phoenix, yesterday in the early slate. And they also ran the same starting lineup. Oso, Bo Buie, David Roddy, DeVoe, and done. So Roddy at the top at 7-8. I played him in the early slate just because I felt like the field wasn't going to go there. It's pretty easy to predict what the field's going to do, right? They're just going to play the guys that did well the last game. So I talk about this in videos a lot and the Patreon stream of trying to identify guys that maybe the minutes and usage have been there, but the production, the maybe just bad shooting or something like that. So that's why I bought into Roddy at no ownership, and he absolutely smashed. Again, this Phoenix roster is really bad. Right? It's really not good. They don't have a lot of high usage players. So once again, I have interest in Roddy as a contrarian play. Oso at 6K had 4 steals and a block. Reasonable play in the mid-range. Should play high 20s minutes, relatively safe. The issue I have with Dunn is, he's just a defender, really. Not a great offensive player, so kind of hard for me to go there. DeVow at 5-1, 23 minutes. I think a reasonable value play, but, 23 minutes was a little bit concerning. And then Bo Buie was the other starter, only 18 minutes. He struggled with his shot, but he's 4.5K, a viable GPP play. Off the bench, they played 10 guys. Witherspoon had an amazing game, but he only played 11 minutes. I just don't think I can do that in 11 minutes. Bridges, surprisingly, only played 14 minutes. I thought he'd be playing more for this team. Wong played 12 minutes. Walker played the most. He played 22 minutes. He's 4.2K. Only 8 minutes the game before that. Just like a GPP play, right? Nothing I feel really good about there. All right. Let's move on to Oklahoma City. Okay, so Oklahoma City. Let me bring them up. When did we see them? Monday, was it? Yeah. So they got killed by the Heat. But they have ran the same starters in the first 2 games so far in the Vegas Summer League. That would be Kelly, Jones, Johnson, Mitchell, and Flagler. So you got Jones and Mitchell at the top. These two should be leading the way offensively. Again, no more Ousmane Dieng, right? Both should play high 20s minutes in a competitive game. Mitchell will have the ball in his hands a good amount. Jones is a really good rebounder. I think both good mid-range plays. Flagler had a really good shooting game last time out. 28 and 27 fancy points. I think he's fine. I think I like the upside though a little bit more with Mitchell and Jones. Keontae Johnson has been really bad. The minutes have also not been great for him. He had some good games last Summer League. I'm still not going to completely rule him out. He's one of those guys you could, try to buy low on in tournaments. He'll be completely unowned. Kelly's been starting 20 minutes in back-to-back games. Just not a great point per minute player. Off the bench, KJ Williams played the backup 5. I was pretty tilted about this. I played him a low ownership on the early slate. 0 of 6 shooting. 4.8K. Again, don't love it. Molinado played 20 minutes. Shackelford played 21 minutes. 4.8 from Molinado, and Shackelford is the flat min price. Shackelford, though, did not play game 1, so that is a little concerning. All right, Lakers and Hawks is the next game here. So the Lakers, I believe, have not won a Summer League game. They've played 5 games so far. They have not won a game. So definitely not a great roster here, but they've been running this. They did change it up last game, the starting lineup. So Connect, Castleton, Lewis, Bronny James have been starting in every game, but they switched up, started Trent Forrest, who I thought was one of the best values on the board, and then only played 15 minutes. So that was definitely tilting. Off the bench, Moses Brown, we talked about him. He smashed in 15 minutes, backing up Castleton. 20 minutes for Hinson, 26 minutes for East. You did not see Kuze play for the Lakers. So you got Connect at the top at 9.4K. The thing that I like about Dalton Connect here, number 1, the minutes, 35 minutes. And then number 2, the shot attempts, 18, 21 shots. If you have the salary to play Dalton Connect, I'm totally fine with it. He'll do some playmaking as well. Colin Castleton's been a little bit disappointing so far in the Vegas Summer League, 8.2K. Still think he's a decent play. I think he'll be relatively low on playing the center position. Maxwell Lewis is 6.7K. Was able to make a few shots, but I don't love the price at 6.7. Bronny James at 5.5, 25, 27 minutes. I'll pass. And then Trent Forrest, if he starts again, I like him. Obviously, he was awful last game. He was almost 100% owned in high stakes, as he should have been. Sharks were all over him. He was a great value. Again, you can't look at the results. Trent Forrest, if he starts again, would be a really good value play. I think that ownership would drop too. East played the backup point. He played 26 minutes. He played well. I would not be surprised if they give Sean East the start. If he does, he would be a solid value. We mentioned Moses Brown at 5K, right? He's backing up Castleton, basically just playing whatever Castleton does not play, and he's a good point per minute player. So like the upside there. And then that's basically it for the Lakers. Let's move on to Atlanta. All right, Atlanta, when did we see them last? Was it, I think it was Monday, wasn't it? Was it Sunday? Well, we haven't seen them in a little bit, actually. It was Sunday. Yeah, they played the Spurs. So Hawks also not a great roster. Again, Kobe Lufkin out for the Summer League, and then Nikola also out for the Summer League, foot fracture. So starters last game were Nikola, Moge, Baker, Windler, and Riche. But I expect with Nikola out, probably Keaton Wallace moving the starting lineup. We'll monitor that, though. Riche at the top at 8.3K. More of a contrarian play. I think there's better spend ups on the board. Not completely out of play, but not a must for me. Moge at 7K has played 27 and 26 minutes over the last couple of games. Guy with a relatively high floor. Pretty safe play, in my opinion. Dylan Windler, I like a good amount at 6.4K, 29, 28 minutes. It's not really shot well, but he's a really good rebounder. 8, 12 rebounds. If he can make his shots, I like the ceiling quite a bit there on Windler. Baker started last game, played 26 minutes. If he starts again, fair play. And then Keaton Wallace, 4 threes, come off the bench last couple games, 23 and 25 minutes. I think there's a chance he could start now with Nikola out, so keep an eye on that. If he does start, Keaton Wallace will look really good. E.J. Liddell, and he was in the Pelicans last year. He played 27 minutes last game. He's another guy that probably plays a little bit more here. Like the upside there. I would like him better, obviously, if he starts. And then that's basically it for Atlanta. So finish up with Golden State and Cleveland. Okay, so Golden State, they confirmed that Jackson Davis and Podziemski are done for the Summer League. So that's going to open up a lot, and I mean a lot here for Golden State. Guy Santos is in Brazil with the Olympic team, so it'll be very interesting to see what they do with the starting lineup. Let me go here, because they played in one of the pre-Summer League games, Podziemski and Jackson Davis. But let's look at the starting lineup in the 2 games that they did not play. So they started Plowden, Beekman, Rowe, Bolden, and Ethan Thompson. And then in the first game, they started Bolden, Rowe, Spencer, Beekman, and Plowden. We'll have to keep an eye on the news, though, for Golden State, because Rowe started game 1 but did not play game 2. Here, let me bring up, where are the Warriors? So, yeah, there's a lot of minutes to go around. I mean, I would not be surprised if Kevin Knox gets a start. He played 21 minutes on the bench last game. Ethan Thompson, also a guy candidate to start. Bolden had started the previous 2 games when Jackson Davis was out, but he DNP'd last game. They went to Sorkin as the backup 5. So whoever starts the 5 for Golden State, whether it be Bolden or Sorkin, will look really good. If it's Bolden, I like him a little bit better. A guy that has been around for a bit, but just a ton of usage to go around. Like Kevin Knox, if he starts, definitely like him. Again, there's a ton of usage out with Podziemski and Jackson Davis. Ethan Thompson's a chucker. If he starts, I like the upside at him a good amount. Yuri Collins has been starting. Not a great point per minute player, but he's 4.1K. And then you had, again, Rowe had a big game 1, DNP game 2. And then where is Plowden's been starting? He's played well. He looks way better with those 2 out. He looks really, really good. And then the other starter last game was Scott, 4K. So there's a ton of value for Golden State. Just kind of depends on what they do with the starting lineup. But probably one of my favorite teams to target for value, at least. And then finally, Cleveland. So Cleveland, we saw them play. Was this their most recent game? Let me see. Yeah, it was. The most recent game was Sunday. They absolutely destroyed the Bucks. So don't read into the minutes too much there for Cleveland. All the starters played like low 20s minutes. They would have played more if this game was competitive. So Craig Porter Jr. at the top at 9.1K. Expect him in, again, back-to-back blowouts. So don't be super worried about the minutes here for the Cavs. Would expect them to play normal starters minutes if the game is competitive, like high 20s. But yeah, Craig Porter Jr., like the upside on him. Don't think he'll be super popular. Tyson and Bates, they both played well. 32 and 28 minutes in limited minutes for Tyson. Bates, 31 and 25 fancy points in limited minutes. Nance has been starting at the 5. He should play mid-20s minutes. He's reasonable. You did see Travers, who was out with an injury game 1, move into the starting lineup and play well game 2. Off the bench, I mean, they kind of spread it out. Burns played 15 minutes. We know he's a good point per minute player. Zaire Smith, who's been around for a while, played decent off the bench, but Yeah, I think the Cavs will be relatively low because of box score watchers. But again, 2 blowouts so far in the Summer League, so would expect the minutes to be decent there for those Cavs starters. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the video. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Again, if you guys are looking for more content, you can check out my Patreon link down below. We're posting videos for the early and main slate, player pool, live stream, Discord access, posting all the starting lineups that we get before lock. I am basically just on Twitter 24/7 looking for news, so all that will be over on Patreon. Good luck, and we'll see you all in the next video.